This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Amore Personal Injury Law Firm.
Abuse cases in religious institutions have recently made headlines in Baltimore. Survivors who have yet to come forward may be considering their options for compensation. Paul Amore, Lindsay Summers, and David Herrick, Esquire, join us to share how these survivors can seek legal recourse. So, welcome to the show, Paul. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. So, what made you decide to pursue these cases?
Well, when I first started to research this new law and saw that this opportunity had been granted to these folks, I thought this was an area that fit well with what we try to do at Amore Personal Injury Law. But then I realized I didn't know enough about these cases. I didn't know enough about what these people were going through. Handling these cases for these people could almost be more detrimental to them if it's not done the right way. There's a high risk of re-traumatization when you're dealing with these folks in getting them to tell their stories. And so I said, I need to bring in a team of people to help me with this. And we're fortunate enough to have a couple of those people here with us today.
Well, tell us about the people that you brought in. I know we have David and we have Lindsay here, right?
Well, yeah, so Lindsay is a trauma therapist. Lindsay just blew me away with her background and her training and her knowledge and her desire to understand the interplay between the legal process and therapeutic process for these folks. And she could tell you more about that. I mean,
okay.
She's the expert, so.
So, Lindsay, tell us about, what is trauma-informed care and how does that translate into legal representation?
I think there are a few different ways to view trauma-informed care, but the thing that we can all agree on is that you need to understand how trauma impacts the brain and how trauma symptoms might show up and how retelling a story, if you're not properly supported or if you don't have coping skills, if you don't feel safe, can actually make your brain think that you're back in that traumatic situation. And so having that understanding to inform the work is so, so important. And understanding how the power dynamics of relational trauma operate and working to be in solidarity and empower survivors through building trust, sharing information, practicing consent, and creating safety.
And so, Paul, you mentioned you also brought in David.
I did, because he has experience handling sexual abuse cases. And I said, well, this is the perfect lawyer to help me help our clients. And David can tell you more about what he's done in the past and what he brings to the table.
Please do that, David.
It's such a courageous step to take that first step and talk to someone. Many times it's the first time anyone's ever talked to anyone at all about this. And if it's done with the proper support to make sure that they don't suffer a re-injury, it can be an extremely empowering experience. You've got perpetrators who've gotten away with this for years and years and years, and now this person, by speaking up, has a chance to hold that perpetrator accountable. But more importantly, normally in cases I can make a profound difference for one person. But a lot of times in these cases, we can affect real change. And I've been involved in cases where it changed the policy of a state and how to handle something so that other people wouldn't get traumatized and have the same thing happen to them. And that's what's so unique about these cases, is that it's the power that it brings to the person who's been surviving for so long. They get a chance to fight back through us, and it's such an amazing opportunity.
And so, Paul, you've assembled an amazing team. So, talk to us about the cost, if there's a cost, and if someone's watching and they need your help, how do they reach you?
Well, you can reach us at 410-324-2000. You can also visit the website, www.needjustice.com. There's never a cost. There's never any out-of-pocket costs, especially to talk to us. But if we do take your case, it's always on a contingency fee. You've seen we don't make any money unless we win. We're handling these cases the same way. And in addition, if you visit the website, we are going to be giving people a free copy of this book if they want. It's called The Body Keeps the Score. It's an amazing book. It's incredibly informative. And if you don't do anything else, please register for a free copy of the book, because it is very, very helpful just in and of itself. If you are a survivor, or if you know a survivor and want to try to get a better understanding, this is where you start.
Well, Paul, thanks again. Amazing team. Thanks again for this great information.